All right, this is Symphony audition video help. We are now in the beginning of the Dvorak Slavonic dance number 4, and I know the title is cut off at the top, but you can use that to look up the piece. And again, learning this is not that different than what I just took you through in the VC 81 excerpt. What we're looking to do is make sure we have our notes and rhythms right. So first, we break down the rhythm, right? And we go through it. There's really nothing hard in this first phrase up to measure 8. The only thing that may get you is measure 4 and making sure those 16th notes at the end of the measure, they fit in. You don't slow down for that. So just practice through, write in your counting, clap and count it. Then fingerings are all marked in. I'm going to go through that because that can be a little tricky. And so you can pluck and count it, and then you got to bow it. So the only thing I'm gonna help you with in the clapping and counting is measure 4. So I'll set that metronome at 84, and right, just make sure it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and right. It's easy to get bogged down. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and that measure. Make sure it's that way. All right, let's look at fingerings. Okay, I'm just gonna go through it one note at a time in a slow rhythm. So 4th position, I'll talk you through as I do it. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and all 4th position. Now we harmonic back. Still, all 4th position. Now a replacement, go to 3rd. Back to 4th. And then it's the same thing. I'll just put some phrasing into it. Okay, very similar with the next phrase, measures 9 to 17. Nothing in here rhythmically that's challenging at all, and the only thing that is slightly confusing is the fingering, so I'm just going to play through it in a slow tempo. 2 and 3 and 2, 3. No shift there. I know there's a dash, ignore it. Position. Okay, so that's it. I bowed it. Make sure you can clap and count it. Make sure you can pluck and count it. All right. That's that. Let's move on to number 17, which is very similar to number 29. Only thing different are the dynamics. Notes are identical. All right, this is a little more involved, but really not that bad. You're going to have to address the rhythm. So, again, write your counting in. Remember, when there's 16th notes in a beat, you have to subdivide that whole beat in E-endas, right? So measure 18 would be 1 E-enda. I think that's the only time 16th notes appear that way. There's some dotted quarters, all that. And as you can see, if you can do the first 2 measures, clapping and counting, you can do the rest of the excerpt, because it's all the same or very similar. Measure 27 is a little different. Make sure those quarter notes don't catch you off guard. So yeah, write in the counting as you need to, clap and count it with a metronome. I'm going to do a little bit of that just to get you secure. So 2, let's see. So 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and it goes on and on. Same thing with the plucking and counting, but before we get to that, let's make sure that we are in the right position. So we're just going to go through it slowly, maybe a little out of rhythm. To get that E flat, make sure your 3 matches open D, because that's a D, and then there's your E flat. Boom. And it's just 2nd position, and back to 1st backward extension. and back to the second position, and back to first, backward extension. That is a little more tricky going to third position, right? Your third finger is playing F sharp. If you put your pinky down, that'd be the G, but instead replace it with 1 in extension. Now you're going to fourth position, and back to second, and back to third extension. Lose your extension because of the B flat now. It repeats, and then back to 27. And remember, just don't let that rhythm catch you off guard in 27. And I should have been a little quieter, and it might slow down. 29 is identical in terms of the notes. All right, next we move to 39. Notes here, not that hard. You just have to be on the D string, regular hand position, and extended backward on the A string. So I'm just going to play this slowly. Okay, your hand position's in good shape there. You're going to get that right. And I'm doing everything under tempo when I'm playing mostly, so you can see what's happening and all that stuff. When you practice this, you're working towards chord note equals 84 with a metronome. Of course, practice it slower, get it good, get it clean, get all the dynamics in there, and then speed it up. So here's 45. I'm just going to go through this slowly as well. Biggest thing here is making sure you're barring when you need to. So slowly, 45. Every 3 notes, you change bow in this. Use those bowings, okay? So here's the bar right here. Bar, and then put 4 down, and then back to barring, and then regular. Position. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to do that in tempo, just to give you a sense of where you have to move on that. In fact, I should do that with, I'll do it from 17, I'll do it from 29 through 58, because 29 is so similar to 17, just to give a sense. The shaping here is different. I'm going to do 17 because of all the different dynamics. So make sure that's happening too. So 17, 2, and 3, and... Yeah, those triplets move. See if you can find a couple wrong notes that I played. Dealing with the low one and the regular one between the E natural and the B flat, that's not easy either. So This takes some work. Get to work. Looking forward to hearing you.